What's up, guys? Matthew getting ready to watch episode 1131 of One Piece. Last episode, we obviously continued with the Kuma flashback. I can obviously, I don't like to look at the titles beforehand, especially of One Piece, but I do, see that we're going to continue it with this episode. Last episode, we saw a little bit more of God Valley. Obviously, like any scene in One Piece, like any scene, it's. I don't know, like, it keeps me on edge and it makes me excited for more, but also at the same time, sometimes I just want them to just give me everything. Sounds wild out of context. But I would assume at some point, maybe either later in Kuma's flashback, later in Egghead, in Elbaf, or a future arc, we're going to see the exact specifics of everything that happened at God Valley. Honestly, as cool as the God Valley stuff was, or has been, you know what I mean? It's not why I'm excited. For this specific stretch of episodes, because I'm excited for Kuma. So I'm very excited to see how his story continues. Obviously, I know where it ends up, but I know it doesn't end up good. And it's probably going to make me cry. But I'm hyped for it. So I want to get into it. If you guys like the video, please drop a like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. I've got the full-length reactions up on Patreon. And if you enjoy the content that I make for the channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Let's get into it. What horrible shit is gonna happen? Damn! How old are they? Like 18, 20? This is a big ass boy, dude! Oh my god! This man's like 16 or 17! Damn! What the? Whoa. I'm kind of scared now that these people remember him. These people are gonna come back. Yes! Sister! Okay, buddy. We don't need to zoom in. Come on, good cop, bad cop. Hey! There's no need to be hostile. We can help them. What are we doing anyway? No. We're not dating! This is a... Hold up. Ginny is a pedophile. She should be arrested for what she's done. Come on, weekly fuck the Celestial Dragons. Everyone do it with me. Say it with me. Fuck the Celestial Dragons. Beckery. Oh, well, we'll take him out. Obviously, he becomes king. He has been described in the past as king of the Sorbet Kingdom. They call him Tyrant, though, so I would assume there's some propaganda shit going on. Food? Is it food? Yeah, okay. I'll take food. I mean, yeah, come on now. Come on, buddy. Jesus, dude. Oh my god. He just lost 18 gallons of blood. It's for the people! This guy's a fucking angel, and the most horrific shit possible has happened to him. God, first of all, how big is this goddamn room, dude? And how small is... Oh my god, this is crazy. Uh-oh, we're gonna get kidnapped or assaulted, or we're gonna see some horrible shit and try to stop it. God damn. Hold up, they lived like a peaceful fucking almost 15 years. Aw, this is too wholesome for a One Piece episode. Yes, baby! That's Rizzy right there. Oh my, are all the old people gonna be at the wedding? Gunshot? I'm so scared. Aww. No, you dastardly motherfucker. Oh my god! Kuma, you're fumbling the bag here! Oh man. Does he not want to... Does he not want to have kids too to pass on the blood? I want you for you, baby! Come on! Oh, what horrific shit's in the news. You about to get punched in the face, Kuma. Oh. Future boss man. Oh my god. They lived together happily for so long! Oh, brother. He's a demon. He got the iconic cap. Big loser! Man. Kuma, slaughter them all. No hesitation. You do not hurt old geezers. I guess we'll have to. I guess we'll have to install a new king. Oh my god, draining the color out of them. What are you gonna do? You guys don't even have hockey. I don't give two shits about the people. The One Piece characters keep getting uglier and uglier and uglier. I mean, I guess so. That doesn't really sound right. Damn, they got his ass. They came, they got us. Oh? They couldn't help themselves either. This is the most wholesome group of characters. Damn. Oh my god, it's the fucking... It's the United States of America. We're fighting the Confederates. Yeah, but if we take out the king too, they're gonna immediately come for us. But but Kuma got the goat power. I'll just teleport us all away. We'll find a new island, and I'll keep teleporting us until we find a peaceful place. Revolutionaries? Did Ivankov come back? Did he make contact with Dragon already? God damn. Oh, my baby. Oh. I got the goosebumps. They got aura, dude. I have such intense goosebumps for some reason. I know why, because it's awesome. But, oh my god. Dude, the goosebumps are radiating. Yep. Oh, we got Ginny too. Ginny, this is a big four. This is a big four. Everyone has to. Oh, damn. Okay. Different ways, different extremes. Don't choke on that bone. Dude, come on, like, he's so brooding. I'm gonna be honest, no offense to Kumachi. The great thing about his power is that he doesn't have to leave them. He can say, okay guys, same time every week. I'm gonna teleport back. Me. He's like a drug. Yeah, okay, so Bonnie is still not born. She's in love. Oh no! What? She's about to. Someone's getting popped. Ginny got kidnapped? Jesus Christ, man. Obviously, another amazing episode of One Piece. I've been saying it, and I really think, again, like I tend to do with my One Piece episodes, I tend to, again, it's not like a negative or anything. I just like to say one sort of semi, constructive thing, constructive criticism, and then I go into the stuff I love. Obviously, it's a known problem. One Piece has terrible pacing, okay? And it's not like, it's not the normal thing. It's not like a bit, like one chunk is really bad or one chunk is really bad. It's just the episodes over time just kind of get a little watered down because they don't want to cut through with the manga. So instead of having like a full like 20, 21 minutes of content, it's, like 14 minutes of content with, repeat scenes or, slowed down, stuff that gets cut out of like stuff like One Piece. The reason that I love the flashbacks in this show so much, and the reason that it's the pinnacle, the reason that all of the flashbacks are some of the strongest pieces of writing in this anime, is because I feel like a lot of that gets thrown out the window. And I don't, like, this episode wasn't like balls to the walls action the entire 20 minutes. That's not what I'm saying by good pacing. There was slow moments, there was cute moments, you know what I mean? But it all was one little story. It wasn't just, bouncing around to 23 different spots, getting 30 seconds of content, and then, you know what I mean? And again, that's not like, I'm not saying, oh, I hate modern One Piece episodes. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I love it, One Piece episodes. But when you get to these fucking flashback scenes, you know what I mean? It's perfect, man. I think back to Wano, you know what I mean? Wano, I've said my piece with Wano on this channel before. It's my 8th favorite arc of the entire show, but comparative to what I feel like it should have been and what other people think it is, it's a lot lower than people would expect. It's below Zoe for me. So, some people may think that's disrespect or anything. No, that's just Zoe is really good in my opinion. But even when I think back to Wano, those flashbacks with Odin and Roger and Whitebeard and stuff like that were some of the best moments. Even the Kinnaman stuff, everything. Okay, so that's why I'm absolutely loving this arc, and it's slow, it's emotional. It's you know what I mean. I may be mistaken here, but I may be really mistaken because there's been 800 flashbacks over the course of the 1,100 episodes I've watched. But I feel like this flashback right here is like the most time gone by in it. As in, like, we keep updating like every 2 years, every 5 years, every 7 years. We've already had like 6 or 7 of those fucking updates through Kuma's life. And I really, really like that. I really like that, man. Ginny's been kidnapped. Well, I was gonna say, obviously we're gonna get her back, but maybe not. Maybe she's already... I don't know. Because again, I'm gonna keep saying it, and it would make this even more heartbreaking just because consider, like, obviously a couple episodes ago, when they first met, I already got like, oh, they might be cute together, little this, little that. This episode, I think that Kuma and Ginny might be the best relationship in the entire show. Like, they were essentially husband and wife for 15 years, and obviously Kuma did not want to pass on his blood at all, or put her into the crossfire by getting married to someone with Buccaneer blood. So he sort of held that out, but they still lived together and ate together, and you know what I mean? They were a couple for like almost 20 years or something like that, or 15 years, 20 years or something like that. It's a beautiful love story right there. But as I've been saying, it's something I've been tricked with so many times. Whenever they say, oh, brother, oh cousin, oh nephew, oh uncle. You know, I immediately buy in. I'm like a fucking like a goldfish or something. Obviously, I know it's a myth, but I'm like a goldfish. I lose my memory every time they say that. I'm like, oh, they must be family members. And then you know what I mean. 5 or 6 episodes later, they go, oh, we were just fucking around. They weren't actually related. How could you fall for that again after the ace and stuff? How could you fall for that again? So I've been thinking for the past, you know what I mean, couple episodes, since the break, when I jumped back into One Piece, obviously, that maybe Bonnie isn't the biological child of Kuma. Now I'm a little scared that I don't know if I want to go full out. I'm kind of scared that she is going to be forcibly impregnated. I don't want to laugh at that, but I feel like she's going to be forcibly impregnated while she's captured, and you know Kuma will find them, or you know the Revolutionary Army is going to get them back, and they'll be, you know what I mean? Because I don't know too. Because that's another thing. Anytime that we've like shown like Bonnie and Kuma together, and obviously One Piece and Oda has a history of, you know what I mean, showing a scene and then just saying in the future, hey, this character was also there. But we never see the mother at all at any age. So I'm a little scared that she might just immediately die, right when a kid is born. But I'm kind of hoping that they have a couple years where they raise the kid together. You know what I mean? The first 1 or 2 years. But man, dude, this is again. That's another one of my favorite episodes of One Piece in a while. I don't want people to think I'm shitting on the show because I love the show. But something about flashbacks, something about the way that this show goes about flashbacks is so insane. I mean, like I talked to my friend, you know what I mean, just about any show, and the minute flashbacks get introduced, not even One Piece and Lost and any other show. Something about flashbacks in general just, you know, really connect me to characters or stories or arcs or whatever. And One Piece does them the best. Does them the best out of any fucking show or manga or story or anything. It does them the best. It's funny. Obviously, as we wind, there's so much content left in this fucking show. There's so much content. And what I mean by that is, because I went on a rant about this a couple weeks ago. You know, I know that Oda has said, like, oh, we're in the final saga now. But this final saga, it has to be, like, fucking 10 years long. We have the rest of Egghead. We have Elbaf. We have probably Hachinosu. Maybe Hachinosu. We've got Lodestar. We've got Laugh-Tale. Maybe an epilogue. Maybe the new Marine headquarters. You know what I mean? We've got... Again, maybe they could combine a couple of those arcs, but that's like 7 big arcs right there. But then something that it hasn't hit me until now that I really have to start planning for. Obviously, as we continue, we're gonna have huge lore dumps, and we're gonna learn what the One Piece is. We're going to learn all these, you know, big important mysteries that have been built up for so many years. But also in that same vein, we're going to see flashbacks. Someone like Dragon. Dragon is obviously at some point going to have a full multi-episode flashback to see the exact origin of his life, to see, you know what I mean? We're gonna see that. Someone like Crocodile, right? He's probably gonna have something. Mihawk. Again, and I'm not saying like all these are equal, as in like, you know, oh, they're all like 15 episode flashbacks long. No, someone like Mihawk, you can probably give him like an episode flashback. Someone like Crocodile, you can probably give him 2 episodes. But I feel like the more we go, we need a Void Century, you know, focus. We have so much fucking shit to get to. Okay? How long is this show gonna run? And that show and manga, obviously, you know, I'm including them in the same vein. But how long is this gonna go? It really is. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think about how this is the final saga, and it cannot be anywhere. And like I said, there's certain things that you can combine. Something like, again, I feel like we kind of are going to go to Hachinosu at some point, but at the same time, like, I don't like to. Are we gonna have like a Davy back fight? I've always said, and I think I said this last week, and I definitely at some point went on like a 20-minute rant about it. My dream scenario is obviously a big battle at the, you know what I mean, the headquarters of the Marines, and that'll wipe out the Marine threat. Im and, the Gorosei and the admirals and all that. And then on the pirate side, Laugh Tale. Laugh Tale should be, in my opinion, the climax. And in my perfect world, it would be Luffy. It would be the Straw Hats versus the red-haired pirates versus the Blackbeard pirates versus Cross Guild. And I'm talking Cross Guild with obviously the people in it now, but I'm talking Gecko Moria, Perona, Doflamingo, Weevil. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm expecting an Impel Down Jailbreak Part 2 at some point. But you know what I mean? To sort of get all of our old, 10 out of 10 characters, and we put them all in one group and say, okay, they're a contender for the One Piece. That's what I'm expecting. I don't know what order that's going to happen, but what I'm trying to say is, like, in that proposal, if we're doing something like that, do we necessarily need to go to Hachinosu? Maybe not, because Blackbeard's going to be at Laugh Tale. But at the same time, there's been so much focus on Hachinosu in the last, like, 200, 300 episodes. And obviously we learned about the lore so far back. I think we do need to go there. There's so much stuff that that Oda has to hit, man. Oh my god, man. I don't want to wish this into existence or anything. I don't want to speak it or curse it. But it would be genuinely so heartbreaking if Oda dies. And now, obviously, he probably has outlines of most of the stuff that he wants to write. But even then, Oda has always been, and if anyone doesn't believe this, then they're either stupid or they don't know fiction. Or not fiction, they don't know simple writing. Oda, sure, I bet he's had the ending planned for a while, but Oda is not someone who plans meticulously every single detail. And I know what some of you are going to say. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? In an 1,100 plus episode long, story or chapter long story, yes, he's obviously has planned a lot. But there's certain, again, you know what I mean? You just talk about, the supernovas or the warlords right there. That's like an extension of like 400 episodes, I would bet. That stuff, again, he has a rough outline, but Oda, he's like my favorite author of our time, George R.R. Martin. He's a gardener. If he has an idea, sure, he might plan for something in the future, but while he's writing the idea, he comes up with 83 other ideas that make that idea so much longer and more complex and, so much longer and tougher to flesh out and complete, that whatever plan he had originally kind of either dissipates or changes or maneuvers around to a different time. So, you know what I mean? I'm always in constant, not fear, because I love One Piece and I want it to go as long as possible. But you know what I mean? You just always have to think, the more that Oda writes, if this makes any sense, the more that Oda writes, the more that he's going to write. You know what I mean? If we locked him in a room and said, hey, look, all of your ideas, write them on paper now, don't think of anything new. Maybe we'd be done in like 3 or 4 years. But at the rate that Oda writes and thinks, it's another 8 years. Bare minimum, another 8 years of manga. Which is probably another 10 years of the anime. So... this is a never-ending story, man. It's a never-ending story. Oh, a side note real quick. It's just a fun little thing. The One Piece live action. Oh, it didn't get a. I know that there was a trailer, and I never look at trailers for anything. But I'm gonna be quite honest. Again, I never look at trailers, but 1 out of every 100 times something piques my interest so much that I looked at Chopper. I had to look at Chopper. I had to see if it was going to be a fucking Sonic situation or if he was going to actually be really good first try. And he looked great. I don't know if I've spoken about it in my, One Piece anime reactions. But I have already seen the live action season 1, of course. So whenever, I was hoping that we were going to get an exact season 2 release date so I can set it up in my YouTube schedule. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It's going to come out sometime next year. Like I said, I'm not going to film videos for season 1 because I've already watched it. But I will jump right into season 2. So look forward to that if you like my One Piece reactions. But other than that, like I said, a phenomenal episode. I was very happy with it. I think that's going to be it for me. I hope that there's an episode next week. Again, if there is, you'll see me next week. If not, I'll see you in 2 weeks. If you guys like the video, please drop a like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. I've got the full-length reactions up on Patreon. And if you enjoy the content that I make for the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. I'll see you guys in a week. Hopefully, you guys have a good one.